So just yesterday, we talked about a whole bunch of new Transformer reveals for Rise of the Beast. Those were all Target exclusives that would be coming out in the next couple months. But today we're going to talk about, on Transformer Tuesday, some new Walmart exclusives. These were items that were teased. It was a capsule subline. We didn't know what the story was. We saw some listings of potential characters, and that was that. And this weekend coming up in the next couple of days, we have the Walmart Collector Con, where all of these will be officially revealed and go up on pre-order to purchase March 16th and 17th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on both days. It'll also feature Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, WWE, Funko. A whole bunch of new products will go up on pre-order and brand new reveals and everything like that. So we have a brand new Transformers Legacy Evolution sub-capsule subline category. Much like how Legacy had the Velocitron Speedia 500 collection with Walmart, now we have this one here with Legacy Evolution. I don't see an official name, but it is a very Generation 2 90s inspired toxic kind of gimmick. There's a common Autobot logo with a waste hazard emblem on the back there, which kind of is the overall arching theme here with all of these characters. You know, a lot of them have the G2 logos on them, and it's the G2 universe naming on it. So it's a very G2 90s thing. Almost, Rise of the Beast is going to be based in the 90s, and we're going to have 90s G2 stuff here with Target also as an exclusive. So the first one we're going to talk about, and we're going to go through the history of all of these with the exception of this one, because I already did a segment on it, and I'll direct you into the right place to get the whole history on this character. But the first one we're going to talk about is the G2 universe Toxitron, a leader class Laser Optimus Prime repaint. MSRP is going to be $54.99. And again, pre-orders for this guy will be going up on the 16th and 17th of March at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's a straight up repaint. Again, if you want the full history lesson on this character, where he came from, what's going on with him and everything, I'll put a link in the pinned comment below under the Patreon stuff, and you could go check out my segment where I talked about the listing that leaked of this and me explaining who this character is. But it's a straight up repaint, no brand new head sculpt and everything. The only really big takeaway from it is, hey, we're getting another Toxitron figure that isn't a BotCon exclusive or an unreleased G2 thing, or even an animated BotCon exclusive, which was also expensive. So, hey, something that's an affordable version of that character. Has a cool orange matrix, so if you're a matrix collector like I am, it's yet another color wave of those matrixes that you could use. And some brand new, toxic green energon weapons. So, a lot of cool stuff here, but again, at the end of the day, getting that classic character done right. Now here we get into the really like deep cut G2 stuff, because even something like Toxitron at least kind of had a little bit of a lineage and fictional history. Now we're going to get into the weird stuff, the really unreleased bizarre of the bizarre, and I really appreciate it. And I don't know if it's Mark or Evan or whoever at the crew who decided these, but I love it. It's great. I get a feeling it's Mark. This is his graffiti kind of look all over it. So we got leader class G2 Universe Grimlock. Now, G2 Grimlock has a lot of different incarnations. When the original G2 Grimlock came out back in 1992, the Dinobots as a whole were all in their original gray color scheme, which is a G2 logo pretty much on it. That's how you were able to tell the difference between the original 1985 version. They came in a case of 6, 2 of each character, and that first wave was Grimlock, Slag, and Snarl, and they were in the original gray colors. Then in 93, they did pretty much the same thing, the same characters, but now they gave them different color schemes. And there's the whole story with Power Rangers. I'll get into that in another time, but long story short, they were pretty much trying to confuse customers with that new coming Bandai product. And you had Grimlock that came in the blue or the turquoise variant. You had Slag that came in the red or the reddish maroon variant. And then you had Snarl that came also in the green and the reddish maroon variant. So it was something where you had another wave of colors. And then there was going to be a planned third wave of these in 1994. And it was going to be Grimlock and Sludge and Swoop, the other two Dinobots that didn't get released up to that point in G2 kind of colors. And Grimlock was going to get a new color scheme this time around. What was that color scheme? Well, it's the color scheme we're looking at here today. The first time we ever saw any indication of this even existing was the box art of that Wave 3 of 1994 unreleased G2 Dinobots of, again, Grimlock, Sludge, and Swoop. We saw that box art. It was shown at BotCon 2006. And later, years and years later, there was a heritage auction that showed different box art of that Grimlock in that color scheme fighting G2 Ramjet and just wild stuff. And, you know, the fandom around that time in 2006, they dubbed it the Agumon Grimlock because it had that kind of Agumon kind of color scheme from Digimon and just a real wild kind of looking thing. And it is what it is, but now we're getting yet again another repaint of that leader class Grimlock mold. We already have the Shattered Glass one, and now we have this one here. Probably is also, much like the Shattered Glass, not going to come with the wheelie. And I think this one looks really cool. Again, giving us something that's this unreleased, unique color scheme in crazy G2 colors. I don't know if it speaks to anyone outside of me, but I really like this just because it's something different from the same old stuff we've gotten. And quite surprisingly, they didn't go with the traditional G2 blue color scheme that we've seen so many times in the past. MSRP on this one, because it's a leader, is going to be $54.99. And once again, will be debuting and going up on pre-order on Walmart Collector Con March 16th, 17th to the 17th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next one, same story, weird stuff, weird color schemes, unreleased color schemes, alternate G2 color schemes. So we have here G2 Universe Deluxe Class Autobot Jazz. Now, Jazz did have a G2 version, but it was a very mild deco repaint of what was his original colors, kind of had the music emblem on there and stuff. It was very lightly different from what he had previously and wasn't really as dynamic as, let's say, his other counterparts like the Sideswipe that was all black with red, or even the Inferno that took a different change of color of his normal vibrant red to an almost pink with the water squirter. Like, it was just a whole different kind of thing. And there's the missile launchers. The G2 Autobot cars were a very interesting attack at how they were going to handle those molds for the 93 line of G2. Jazz at some point apparently was going to get another repaint in the future. We don't know where that was going to fit in the line. We knew that it existed because, much like the previous one here with the Grimlock, there was box art that was shown at BotCon 2006, and it showed this Autobot Jazz box art, but done in this weird sunset kind of color scheme, just like lava colors, fire guts Jazz, whatever you want to call it. But it was very bizarre. So what's interesting about this is they maintained that. They kept that completely. And they add some extra little deco stuff on it. They put the G2 logo on the front of the car, which is a nice touch and everything. And then what's also an interesting touch is they include some extra weapons that didn't come with the original Studio Series 86 Jazz that this is repainted from. He comes with what looks like the gun from the soon-to-come-out Earth Mode Generations, whatever you want to call it, buzzworthy Bumblebee Hound. So it comes with his projector gun, and it also comes with a drill gun. I feel like these are included extra to kind of emulate what the original G2 toy and, of course, what that box art was doing, which was having some kind of shoulder launcher, having some kind of missile launcher, and then having something that was his traditional chrome gun that came with the original mold. So that's what I think is going on there, but that's just my hot take on that. Looks really cool. Again, I find it weird that they're using the G2 emblem all over this packaging and even on this figure, but then you have that waist logo on the back that uses the traditional Autobot emblem. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but at the end of the day, it's still very cool. And again, a very interesting choice for Jazz to get another repaint out of that mold. But quite a deep cut, and I just get a feeling it's something that Mark and Evan are really into right now. And the last one, even more of a deep cut, because this isn't like pre-existing official Hasbro packaging or something or box art. This was something that showed up in the year 2000, Whiz-Bang Collectibles. They were showing a whole bunch of stuff for sale. They bought a huge collection from a former Hasbro employee, test shots, prototypes, samples, everything like that. And one of these items was this cloud camo colored ramjet. And we didn't really know where this fit in. The belief was that at some point they were going to do, again, repaints of the initial wave of the G2 Seekers, and they were going to do, I guess, this cloud camo ramjet, this black repaint Starscream, which we ended up learning was the name Blackout when we found the box art for that one years later, and even, of course, the Sandstorm ramjet, which did get an update years later through the Generation Selects line. So this one here, this cloud camo ramjet, is going to be a brand new character, which is also exciting because it adds a new Seeker to the Seeker family of characters, and there's more to collect now. So we have this Conehead Seeker, the G2 Universe Cloudcover. And hey, it's another Seeker. It uses that Earthrise Ramjet mold. So if you didn't get that mold, you have another opportunity to pick it up here. And it's just cool to see a new character. Be cool if there's actually some fiction to go with it. But I mean, it does add another Seeker to the collection. And then whenever we're going to get Conehead Seeker new molds at any point in the future, Cloudcover could be yet again another potential repaint. So that family continues of madness. Unbelievable. Again, this one's going to be a Voyager class, so probably the Voyager MSRP. Same old story, $34.99, and of course March 16th, and of course the 17th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the pre-order for that will go up. It's a straight up repaint, no new tooling there, but still pretty cool, and again, a crazy deep cut. And then, of course, the other stuff that they showed, we are going to be getting also that retro reissue, Transformers the Movie, Thundercracker, and Hound will also be going up for pre-order then. So if you want to pick those up, now we have the packaging and the box art and how the official images of that, so we know how that's going to work. So pretty hype stuff. Very exciting, all of this. There's a lot of cool things here, but man, talk about some deep cuts. But when you have, that's the good thing, and I've talked about this in the past, the good thing about store exclusives is when they're sold exclusives, and I did my segment about this, saying the good and the bad of, store exclusives and why they exist, is you could do the weird stuff, the deep cuts, the weird things, and retailers, they buy it up front, they buy all the inventory, and you don't have to worry about doing something weird that might not sell well because now it's Walmart's problem. So, and it gives the guys at Hasbro opportunities to do the weird stuff like this. And hey, maybe this jazz speaks to you. Maybe the Agumon, Grimlock speaks to you. Maybe you want Toxitron finally, or maybe you want to get a brand new Seeker character for your collection in Cloudcover. Pretty cool stuff. Let me know what you think, guys. This is really hype. And maybe we'll get some more images, because we don't have all the images here, only what was in the retailer computer at the time being. But hopefully we'll have some more images, and by Saturday we'll have some updates on this and brand new photos and maybe some other items we didn't see. Talk to you again real soon, and I hope you enjoy listening to the Transformer Slag podcast.